Liu Kang, a multidimensional being. Katana, the key to a new world. In Ed Boon's words, this is not a continuation of MK11. How all of this is connected is discussed in this video. Katana was last seen grasping Liu Kang's hand and embarking on a journey to rewrite time together. Yet in this new timeline, she is no longer this possibly immortal being outside of time itself, but very much in the real world and killable as well. Does this prove Ed Boon's point of a new reality? If so, why is Lou still here and as a fire god as we last saw him? Why is he talking as if he knows of a past world? So in the last few videos we discussed Ed Boon's kind of confusing statement. A lot of people got confused by it, on whether or not this is, while still being a reboot, a continuation of MK11 where the reboot started, or it's entirely new storyline altogether that just so happens to have its own fire god Liu Kang. And basically, I looked at several things in the trailer and compared it to the ending of the game, and presented my theory on why I think that it's honestly both. It is a brand new world that is not technically a continuation of 11, while having undoubtedly connective tissue to the end of 11. And as confusing as that still sounds, we're going to break that down right now. So here's my theory. I believe Katana and Liu Kang did go recreate time together and even lived an eternity and maybe a half. Like Raiden told him, you would need somebody to share the eons with. Now, I do realize that what I'm going off of, if I'm correct, is the original ending and not the aftermath ending. If I'm correct in the aftermath ending, he goes with Raiden to recreate time. In the original ending, he goes with Katana to recreate time. I could have those mixed up. I might be wrong on that. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, please. No. Like I said, I believe they did go and recreate time together and enjoyed eons with each other, an eternity and a half. But then they came to realize their mortal minds were given immortal power, and they just couldn't handle it. Katana no longer had her family or her kingdom, and possibly can't even have true conception outside of time. Maybe they could, but can't enjoy their family or give them a normal life they were once exposed to, a life they will not be able to just get out of their heads, a simple life not tied to immortality. Because I can only imagine with power just bestowed on you like that out of nowhere, it'd be a little bit hard to adjust from a mortal life to immortality. I also believe the first go, Lou wouldn't have gotten everything right. He would have tried to take out all evil, or a good portion of evil at least. Shinnok, Shao Kahn, Onaga, maybe even the One Being. He would have found out that that's just not how life is meant to be. That there is, to an extent, a point to the evil and free will. Now, Katana did say she wanted the people to have free will and that this would rise out more conflict, which is kind of something he echoed in the trailer. But assuming that Liu's mortal understanding didn't just snap to full-blown knowledge of everything, he might have failed at Katana's request. This brings me to my conclusion that eventually Liu would want the best for Katana and the chance to get it right with the realms. So maybe after eons even, he recreated the world once more, but this time with Katana in it, no longer by his side, but by her sister's side. Maybe even to find a love and experience life in peace. Remember her tragic life before. Dad ripped away, mom as well, then finds out her mom was evil the whole time, and her own sister hates her and is actually just a clone. His love for her and Earthrealm would have led him to start over once more, but completely sever any connections to the past, including his decision making on what comes or stays, changing a few things, as he said. A canvas painted in with warmth. You see, with Katana still there is still a connection to the old timeline. Hell, even with him still there is still a connection to the old timeline. But perhaps with him placing in Katana's soul and starting over fresh, maybe even severing his own thoughts and connections, he could have, because again, multi-dimensional being. That's what we went over in the last video. He could have easily said in this new timeline, there's going to be another Fire God Liu Kang, and I'm just going to basically retire myself. Therefore, again, a brand new timeline with a brand new Liu Kang. That's not the same Liu Kang we saw. However, still technically a continuation. I don't know. Like I said, his words in the trailer of actually saying this brand new era or brand new timeline or reality. That's what he says. It just doesn't make sense if Ed Boon is saying it's completely true, which is this does not connect to MK11 or continue the story of MK11. Because at the end of MK11, there was a reboot happening. That would mean this new Liu Kang would know of that old world. And his words saying this brand new reality or this new reality hints a lot at him possibly knowing of the old world. Why else would he say that? So then you also compare to, again, like Katana said, she wanted the people to have choice, which could rise new evil. And in the trailer, he even says he's giving people the choice to live in peace or war, and bitter rivalry, or come together as brothers, yada yada. That's again another connection right there that's just hard to overlook. So I can't just take it as, oh, well, this is simply a 100% new timeline and it has nothing to do with the old one. Just so happen to have its own Fire God Liu Kang. Which, hey, I wouldn't complain if it's still the case. Something telling me that there's still some connection here. You know, with him even mentally severing his ties to the old timeline, maybe he'll still know a few things, but not everything. That keeps him from remembering all the baggage that came with it, because his life wasn't good either. And like some people might be saying, well, you know, he's a guy now, so he's not worried about all that. But um, he wasn't born one, you know. So a lot of that stuff will still weigh on him and affect his thinking. You can see that even when he becomes one, he doesn't turn around and be like, "Oh yes, I know all and know how to do all." He's confused. He said, "I can't take on this power, not by myself." You know, he still has that humbleness to him, that mortal thinking of Liu Kang and how his spirit has always been. So I say he took the timeline he was a part of and decided to sever all connection to it, start over fresh, give Katana a chance at life, maybe even disconnect himself from the old timeline or destroy himself and recreate a new version of himself with that multi-dimensional power we talked of. And this is truly its own thing, something new, not a part of MK11, as there has been eons in between, and now this new timeline truly is a fresh start, not off the back of the old timeline, but off the back of love, with no ties to destiny or war, allowing people to make their own choices and nothing be the same as before. But we all know this is technically MK12, you know. Anyway, I can't wait to play this game. I hope y'all can't wait either. Please like, subscribe. Let me know what you feel in the comments. Let me know things that I could do to get better with this. You know, I love talking about lore, writing, and world building in general. And Mortal Kombat is definitely one of my favorite things. So there'll be more and more videos coming up, especially when we get access to this new game. So please stay tuned and have a blessed day. Take care.